Hi, in today's lesson, we are going to learn about the rules of the function e to the power of x and ln x. We'll be solving examples and also a few questions from the past paper. Start with the exponent rules which we apply for e to the power of x. If the base is same, we have an e here and an e here. If the base is same and we have a power, and we multiply. So e to the power of x multiplied by e to the power of y will give us e to the power of x plus y. We add the powers. E to the power of x divided by e to the power of y. If the division is there, we subtract the powers. In the brackets, if you have e to the power of x and there's a y out or any number, we times the power. So x multiplied by y. The answer will be e to the power of x times y. E to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. 1 over e to the power of x. When we bring the power from the denominator in the numerator, the sign changes. So this will become e to the power of negative x. These rules, they work both ways. Let's solve an example. Suppose you were given e to the power of 2x plus 1 and you had to simplify it. This is the same as e to the power of 2x multiplied by e to the power of 1. And if you had e to the power of 5x minus 3, what will this give us using this rule? This is the negative. When it's a negative, we divide. So this is equal to e to the power of 5x divided by e to the power of 3. Then let's do an example for the third rule. If you have e to the power of 3x bracket 2. So we times the power. 3x multiplied by 2 will give you 6x. And the last one, if suppose you had e to the power of negative 4. So what will the answer be? It will be e to the power of 4 because when we write it in the numerator, the sign will be positive. Let's solve a few examples. In the first question, we have e to the power of 5 divided by e. If there is no power, it means there is a 1, right? And using the division rule, what will we get? 5 minus 1, which is equal to e to the power of 4. The second one, we have multiplication and division. This dot here tells us it's multiplication. So e to the power of 0 plus minus 1. So we just write the sign that is there. And this is division, e to the power of 3. So when I bring the power up, it's going to be negative. This will give us e to the power of negative 4. For this question, we have the power rule and the multiplication also. So let's simplify one by one. 2 to the power of 3 will give us, 2 multiplied by 3 will give us 6. And 3 multiplied by negative 1 will give us negative 3. Now using the addition rule, what will we get? 6 minus 3 will give us e to the power of 3. When we are using the addition rule, I'm still writing the negative here. That is because if I add plus and minus, is going to be minus. We don't change the signs if it is a plus. Whatever, when we are adding, whatever sign is there, you will just put the sign itself and solve. Now this one seems a little bit more interesting. Let's see. The number doesn't change. Please remember that. If you have a 5 down, it will remain there. So I just separated 1 over 5, e to the power of negative 2. And this is a divide. So when I bring up, it will be a minus. And what is the sign? Negative 4. This will give us 1 over 5 e negative 2 plus 4, which is 1 over 5 e to the power of 2. You could also have solved it like this. e to the power of -2. When you bring up the sign changes, so you have a -4 here. When you bring it up, it will be +4. And this will also give you 1/5 e to the power of 2. The next question, we have a bracket and we have a 3 out, a power out. That power is for each term which is inside. So that will be 3 to the power of 3 and e, 2 multiplied by 3, 6, which is 27 e to the power of 6. Now here in the next question, you have two brackets, and that means it's a multiply. So first we'll multiply 3 by 2, which is 6, and then we add the powers of e, x plus 4x. So 6e to the power of 5x. I hope the rules are a little bit clearer. Now we are going to go through the ln rules or the natural log rules. We use the same rules that we use for logs. Ln a plus ln b is equal to ln ab. So we multiply a and b. Ln a minus ln b is equal to ln a divided by b. Suppose you had ln a, this line is for the whole ln a divided by b. So you will write ln a divided by b. Ln 1 is equal to 0. X ln a is equal to ln a to the power of x. This product rule is very important. They bring it a lot in the exam. Now let's start solving a few questions. The first question we have is ln 2x cubed. There are two rules that will be using here. We have a multiply, so ln 2 plus ln x cubed. And then the second one, the power goes in the front, 3 ln x. The next one is half ln x. How can you simplify this? There's a number in the front, you can write it as a power. So this will be ln x to the power of half, which can be written further as ln square root x. In the next question, again, we have the power rule. There's a number in the front, which we can write as a power. And then there's a minus, which means it's a divide. So let's simplify it. This will give us ln x to the power of 3 minus ln x to the power of 2. Now using the divide rule, x cubed divided by x squared. And when we simplify it, there are 3 x's on the top, 2 x's down. So what will remain? 1x. Whenever you have division like that, we minus 3 minus 2, 1. That will give us x to the power of 1, which is ln x. The next one is 2 ln 4 plus 2 ln x. The 2 is for both the terms which you have here. This will give you ln 4 to the power of 2 plus ln x to the power of 2, which is ln 16 plus ln x squared. The next question we have is negative ln x. If there is no number here, it means there is a 1. So this is negative 1 ln x. We can write this as ln x to the power of negative 1. Because the power is negative, we can write this as ln 1 over x. So this is the simplified form. In question number 6, we have ln 1 over x to the power of 3. There's a divide, which can be written as ln 1 minus ln x to the power of 3. ln 1, I hope you remember, is equal to 0 minus, and the power will come in the front, so 3 ln x. And the answer is going to be negative 3 ln x. Before we start solving examples, this is a very important thing you need to know, that e and ln are inverse of each other, so they cancel each other out. If you have e to the power of ln x, the answer is going to be x. as the e and the ln gets cancelled out. Ln e to the power of 4, ln e will get cancelled out, and the answer is going to be 4. Now we are going to solve a few questions from the past paper and a few other examples. These are a few questions. Pause the video, try it yourself, and then check the answers. Okay, I hope you have tried solving them. Now let's look at the solution. Let's start with the first question. E to the power of negative ln x. Again, if there's no number here, it means there's a 1. So we will write this as e to the power of ln x to the power of negative 1. The e and ln are cancelled. We are left with x to the power of negative 1, which is equal to 1 over x. What about question number 2? I hope you got this right. This was in the multiple choice, and we can just put this in the calculator the same way and you will get the answer. But suppose if it was in extended, then we will use all the rules that we know. The number in the front will become the power. And then we are going to use the addition rule of ln. So e ln 2 to the power of 3 is 8 and 3 to the power of 2 is 9. If it is addition, we multiply. E and ln will get cancelled. 8 multiplied by 9, 72 is the answer. For question number 3, we have a division. So ln 1 minus ln e to the power of 2. ln 1 is cancelled. ln e is cancelled. So what are we left with? Negative 2. There is another way to solve this also. It depends on your understanding. We could have written it as ln e to the power of negative 2. And the power goes in the front, correct? Negative 2 ln e. ln e gets cancelled and the answer is negative 2. Next question. You have ln x minus ln 2x as the power of e. Negative means what? We subtract, right? So x divided by 2x. The e and ln will get cancelled and you are left with negative x over 2x. The x will get cancelled and we will have negative 1 over 2. We are going to use the same rules in 5. It's a minus, so e ln. Before that, there's a number here which we will write as the power. That will give us 2 multiplied by 2, 4. And now, because it is a negative, we are going to divide it. E and ln will get cancelled. X to the power of 10 divided by x to the power of 4, we subtract the powers. 10 minus 4, 6. So this is our answer. Here we have multiply. In E, if there's a multiply, we add the powers. So e to the power of x plus minus x. We don't need to write the minus, but still plus. So x minus x is 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Question number 7. ln square root x, as it is a divide, minus ln e. The square root can be written as to the power of half. And negative ln e gets cancelled, leaving us with a 1. So we have half ln x minus 1. Moving on to the next question. We have multiplication, so we are going to use the addition rule. ln 3 to the power of negative e plus ln e to the power of 3. The power of ln will go in the front. That will be negative e ln 3 plus 3 ln e. We will get negative e ln 3 and the ln and e will get cancelled, leaving us with 3. We cannot cancel this because the e was the power 2, 3, not 2 ln. So these are a few examples. I hope you have understood it. Thank you for watching the video. Please share this with your friends. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel.